Welcome back to another episode of Where Pilgrims Walk. Some disappointing results to chew over this week. We're trying to stay positive. We can still do this. The gap is only small. We're also talking about the trip to the Etihad this week as Plymouth enter the fifth round of the FA Cup, and lots to talk about. So our topics for debate this week include this one from Vince, who says we should play the youth team against Man City. Hull next week is 20 times bigger than that game, and we need every player fresh. We're going to get the panel's thoughts on that. Plus, our three other debates are Bali must start in our attack. We'll talk about Man City. We're looking at the March fixtures as we head into the next month. Just where can Argyle pick up some points? And we're asking this slot, which fan base has got on their nerves the most, and they would love to see relegated. We are delighted to be joined by our full complement of Pilgrims this week. We have Reese Moore, Chris, Harry McSherry, and Jane Beale-Toms. Thank you all very much for joining us. It's difficult to know where to start this week, Reese, because we were hoping to discuss a little bit more than just 2 points, but given the nature of Cardiff's red card and just how bad Luton are, could you see that as a disappointing week overall?
Yes, I think I would have liked at least 4 points out of the two games. I think going to Luton, it's always going to be difficult, and it's two of these teams at the same position as us. They're both scrapping for results, and I mean certainly Cardiff, it got rather scrappy, and neither of them were exactly adverts for the Championship League, were they? So yeah, disappointing, but there we go.
Yeah, I mean, I watched you on Wednesday night, Chris, as I think most of the country did. I was bored by the Champions League, so I just thought it was not such an opportunity missed. Luton just wanted to kick it up in the air. Then you kind of started playing their game. What did you make of that particular game before we get into Cardiff?
Yeah, you're dead right. It was an aerial battle, wasn't it, Mark? It could have been also much difference as the F-buts and maybes. You know, when you've got a refereeing decision go against you, when it's been proven that a goal that was disallowed for offside was actually onside, and that would have put us 1-0 up. We don't normally score first, so that would have been a great game changer, if you like. And I think we could have gone on and won that game and got the 3 points if we'd had that goal allowed, which we should have, but we didn't. But yeah, we had to come back and draw that. It was a massive draw in the end, but we said, you know, if we'd gone on and got the 3 points on Saturday, then it would have been also much sweeter. 4 out of 9, you could have taken that, but the 2 is hard to bear, to be fair, especially the way the game turned out on Saturday with the officials and the way Cardiff were play acting. It was embarrassing.
Yeah, we did speak to our Cardiff fans about this, Jaden, and accused them of being dark arts, and they said, look, what do you want us to do? We're away from home, we're down to 10 men, you know, we're against a relegation opponent, so, you know, you'd do exactly the same. Is that a fair comment?
Yeah, I think they just, at some point, they just went too far. The goalkeeper, just some of the players going down multiple times. It just gets a bit embarrassing at that point, you know. There's wasting time, and then there's just, you know, wasting the game. Like, it got to a ridiculous point where I think all the fans in the stadium had just had enough.
There was a tweet here about the extra time in that game. We'll come on to it now, Harry. Adrian says, that is the worst injury time performance I have ever seen. 13 minutes and we created nothing. We gave away stupid free kicks. Our decision-making was woeful. We made it so easy for Cardiff. And in that time, there were 2 big points dropped. Do you agree, Harry?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, considering how well this season we've scored late goals, you never think you're going to get a last-minute goal, but to have 13 minutes and do nothing was quite bad from us. And I think, considering that Alnwick was playing for one leg basically, I think his hammy had gone, and we didn't even try and just shoot at him. Was very poor from us.
Okay. Let's go on to the main topic then, which is about Bali, Reese. And this comes from a number of people now saying, well, what the only thing we learnt in that Cardiff game was that Bali, as Niall says here, absolutely needs to be in our attack for Soranola, or Edwards needs to be playing right wing back. And for the love of God, we need Hardie. Or if not, we try a front 2 of TJ and Bundu. And for the love of God, putting an effing cross. Lots to unpick there. Talk us through it, Reese. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think Bali has certainly put his stake for that forward spot now. I think when he came on, first half, it was shocking. He came on half time and he looked of the Bali of old, of when we had him in League One. He just looked like he was. I'm gobsmacked now he didn't score because he was up for it. He looked like he wanted it, and I think it suits him. That it suits Muslik as well. This direct player who just likes to run and he will just go at players. And for me, I think he's got he should be starting on Saturday up front. And I think for me, if Hardie's not back, then he's got to be there for Hull.
On that whole City decision, as our first tweet says, Reece, just staying with you, is it a full strength squad at City, or
no?
Would you play the kids?
I think you certainly bring in the likes of Freddie Azaka and Caleb Roberts to give them some game time. I don't think you tweak it too much just because you want a bit of momentum. You want a bit of. We don't want to go there and get beaten 6-0 and it completely destroy our season. But you also don't want to be going to Hull on absolute nothing, running on empty. Because I think they're staying in Manchester after as well, so it is a long week. So I think you definitely change it. It's just the amount of changes.
Yeah, Chris, those players will want to play in that City game, won't they? They deserved it. They got them there, so he can't really drop them, can he? Even though he probably would want to for Hull, because he risks upsetting an apple cart that doesn't need upsetting.
Oh, I think you're dead right. It could be a role reversal if we went too far and disrupted the whole team. You know, it would be disrespectful to Man City, as everyone was saying about Liverpool coming down here. And giving us not enough respect. Well, they had a payback time for that, didn't they? So we can't go and do the same up there. We've got to put out a strong team. Yes, there will be one or two changes. Ron already still out for a couple of weeks more. That's where we're going to struggle up front. Yeah, let's see Bali Mumba given an opportunity and see what he can do up there. I just hope we can score first. If we can score first, you know, to go 1-0 up in the Etihad. We did it at Chelsea a few years ago. And I said to my boys at the time, if we can go, having scored that, I said, I don't care if we lose 6-1 now, just to go up there and be 1-0 up against the European champions on their place. Absolutely brilliant. I mean, that was what dreams are made of. And hopefully, if we can do the same at the Etihad on Saturday, happy days, you know.
Okay. Let's have a look at a few more tweets. Then Jaden, Liam says, starting 11, we're not strong enough in a game where you have to win duels. Bali has to start in the front three with his pace. The last 20 minutes, we should be lumping it forward, and we made the wrong decisions not doing that. 2 massive points dropped, wasted 45 minutes being poor and weak. What about this style then of being more direct and stop playing it on the carpet so much that some of your other tweets have kind of said, look, just do what Stoke City used to do in the Premier League. Just get a guy running at the ball, whip the ball in, and hope for the best.
I mean, yeah, we've got some decent crosses now. Pushas and Bundu, they're decent. But obviously we didn't have a main striker up front. So I think that's why we probably didn't do as much crossing as we usually do in that game. Me and my brother said in the first half to each other, this game is crying out for a Bali Mumba. And yeah, it proved to be right. And I think, yeah, he definitely should have started, obviously.
Yeah. It didn't stop some fans though, Harry. All the positivity saying that's it now. We are gone. We're done. This was our week to kind of put our name in there. And we failed 2 tests. Where do you stand on your hopes? I mean, this was the worst tweet which I saw, just to put it into context. Honeymoon period is over. Music, that was absolutely shocking. I ain't renewing my season ticket next year if we're watching that style of play. So boring. 1 shot on target versus 10 men, 50 minutes, and a keeper injured for 15 minutes. It was pathetic. And they didn't get any better after that.
I don't agree with that statement. I think we're still very much in the realms of staying up. We've still got 3 or 4 massive games coming up that sort of teams are near and around us. Yeah, the football probably isn't what people want, but if we're going to grind out a 1-0 result, we have to take these 1-0 results and stay up. Yeah.
I mean, people are saying you actually need to start playing the teams at the top, because actually that's when you seem to get your points from Sunderland's and Blackburn's rather than the teams around you. Reece, are you still positive, and are you still glass half full?
Yeah, I think for the minute, I think like is it 12 games left? You can't be saying when there's only 3 points in it that that's it, we're gone. And like you say, we've played two teams now who plays very similar to us. Direct, don't want the ball, don't want to step out on us, don't want to have all their players in our half and allow us the space in behind. When we come across the Norwiches and those sort of teams who like the ball and want to play it on the carpet, there's potential there. That there's if Hardie's back and things like that, there's space in behind for them to run into, and that direct play works nicely. We've got to find a balancing act and find a way of beating the lower teams, because we've got to beat the teams in and around us. But the Sheffield Wednesdays, the Norwiches, that there is opportunities there now.
Okay. Chris, how about you? How are you? How are you after this week? You've done a lot of miles.
Yeah, we've got to start picking up points away from home. That's for sure. There's some winnable games at home. There's a couple of real tough ones coming up with Sheffield United and Leeds at the end. I'm hoping we can get it done and dusted prior to that. I still believe that we can get out of this scenario. Don't forget, Miron's picked up an awful lot more points than what we did under our past manager in about 2 or 3 months, and he's done it in January. So, yeah, I've still got faith in Argyle, and I'm sure that we can get out of this, because looking around the table, there's some other teams who's really struggling as well. You've got your Stokes and Oxfords all going on bad runs now, and there's always somebody who goes suddenly automatically down the bottom out, and you weren't expecting it. So why can't we pull ourselves out? I think Derby and Luton are going to struggle now. So hopefully we can pull another one back into that, maybe Hull. So it's a big game on Tuesday against them, but I still believe we can do it.
Yeah, the Hull fans themselves were saying, well, we can't win at home, Plymouth can't win away, so they were saying they know exactly what's going to happen. It'll be a 1-0 Plymouth winner. More on that though next week. It is our 30th week of doing this podcast. Can you believe? I know, 30 weeks. I'm talking positively about Plymouth. Somehow managed it. So please drop us a like. We love making the content for you, but it'd be great to get 30 likes this particular episode. Right, let's have a look at March then, shall we? Because after just as we head into the Etihad, March will be on us. So let's make some predictions and see where it's going to lie. 5 games in March. Of course, we've got an international break as well after the Derby game, so that will set us up nicely for Watford. Watford away. Hull, Pompey, Watford away, Reece, Jayden, sorry, and Wednesday and Derby at home. So 15 points. What's the minimum you expect from this?
Draw to Hull. Hope to beat Sheffield Wednesday. Draw at Pompey. Beat Derby. Another draw at Watford, and then beat Norwich.
Okay, well, that's 11. I'll count that as 11 points out of the next 6. That is ambitious. Harry, any more pragmatic?
I think out of possible 15, we need to be trying to get at least 3 wins, not 9 points. I don't see us winning away at all this season, which is, we need to start winning away. We can't keep relying on the home games.
Okay. Chris, is it all about just beating Wednesday and Derby this month then?
It's certainly allowed, won't it, Mark? I think we'll also get a point against Hull and a point against Portsmouth. But yeah, our home games are going to be crucial. So I can see us getting 8 points minimum out of that, hopefully more. But yeah, that'll do, I think.
I mean, Reece, they're all winnable games, on paper, aren't they? All 5 of these. I mean, I think Watford at home have been decent, but sometimes they don't turn up for the lower opposition.
Yeah, I think every game is a winnable game. It depends on what Argyle turn up and often what opposition turn up. With an awful lot of them, they're all very hit and miss, except from Derby, were just shocking, but so are we at times. So it's not going to be a fun month. Let's put it that way. But it's if we can win every one of those games 1-0 with a scrappy 1-0, I'll take it.
But there's a togetherness, isn't there, about the fan base? I think you would all agree here. When we were, that period of Rooney and that period in between, there was that discontent and people falling out with each other, and there was a fight in the stands. Chris, do you remember? I forgot which ground that was at. I can't remember, but Bristol City. Yeah. Is it for you? Is everyone together on this project now?
Yeah, I feel so. I think the toxic atmosphere that was with us past in November, beginning December, that's all faded away. And yeah, we're all fighting off the same, singing off the same hymn sheet, and we're all trying to get the same achievement with staying up. Everyone wants it. That it's crucial to us, to be honest with you. And if we can do it in our home matches, then lovely. But yeah, I think the toxic atmosphere, I haven't seen anything at home park, and I haven't seen anything like it at the away ground since that Bristol City debacle, really.
Very good. Right, let's talk us through your schedule for Saturday. Then it's Saturday, isn't it? Yes, for the Etihad. What time are we up, please? And what time are we getting to the ground, and what's our plans?
A couple of points before the game, leaving 8 o'clock in the morning.
8 o'clock is a 5:30 kickoff, isn't it? I think. Is it?
Yeah,
5:46.
Okay. Fantastic. Yeah. And we should be watching. I forget which one it's on. It's on BBC, isn't it, or ITV? One of them, anyway.
ITV4.
ITV4. Well,
Yeah.
Speak of that, what a joke! Honestly,
that's ridiculous. Okay, all right. Well, we'll be definitely
Put their figures up.
definitely tuning in. Sell out, I believe, as well. Is that right, Reece? Yeah.
I'd imagine it will be by then, won't it?
it will be.
Yeah, fantastic. And we're all heading there, I believe. Yes, with all. Yeah, you're not going to miss this one, are we? Absolutely.
No,
And possibly into the quarterfinals. Who knows? Stranger things have happened in football. Right, join us then next week for that. And last question this week is we've been asking all our 24 teams in the Championship which one team would they like to relegate the most? Not because they think they're going to finish there, but they're just sick and tired of their fans. Now, no one so far, since we've asked this question, has said Plymouth. You are universally loved and liked by the footballing population. Even Portsmouth didn't want to send you down. So your turn now. Which we've said we think it's now between 9 teams. We think Preston and above are pretty safe, and even really Swansea and Oxford possibly could consider themselves safe. But who gets on your nerves the most, Harry?
Stoke for me, not just because of Schumacher, but some of their fans online. They're a bigger club than us. I'll admit that, but they think they're bigger than they actually are, and they have got a bit of money to them, but they don't ever seem, since they've been relegated from the Premier League, they've never competed at this level since.
I'd love you say it's not just the Schumacher thing. That's a big part of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Jaden?
Cardiff. After that, just get gone. It's just
Okay.
embarrassing way they're playing in the Championship, but they did have 10 men, so we'll give them a bit of
Okay. Reece?
For me, it's either Swansea or Stoke. I don't really know why. Swansea just seems to have this hatred of them, and Stoke, we all know why.
Okay. And Chris, finish this off.
Oh, 100% Stoke City. I mean, it's a club that's got no class. Their fans, if they didn't have free travel, wouldn't be going to these away games. The only club that does pay for all their travel, so they get free travel. And to go online, there's another club that think they owe something. They think that they've won the league before the games or season starts. So yeah, it's Stoke City for me every time.
Okay. Right. Thank you very much for that. Let us know your thoughts on this. You know what to do. Let us know your team in the comments below. Right. Massively enjoy your day in Manchester, all 4 of you. We'll be keeping our fingers crossed for a positive result, and then we'll join you back here next week to preview Hull, and the one after that, of course, which is Sheffield Wednesday. See you then. Thank you very much for watching.